After the age of 40, many people begin to notice a quiet shift in their internal drive. It is not dramatic. It is not sudden, but something feels different. Projects that once felt exciting now feel heavier to start. Goals that once created anticipation now feel neutral. Even hobbies that once brought energy may feel less stimulating. This change is often misinterpreted as laziness, lack of discipline, or burnout. In reality, much of this shift reflects predictable biological changes in brain chemistry rather than weakness of character. Motivation is deeply connected to dopamine, the neurotransmitter involved in reward anticipation, for momentum and goal pursuit. In youth and early adulthood, dopamine signaling is more sensitive and responsive. Novel experiences create strong stimulation. Achievements create noticeable emotional reinforcement. Over time, however, dopamine receptor sensitivity gradually declines. This does not mean dopamine disappears. It means the same activities produce a weaker signal. Tasks that once felt rewarding may now feel ordinary. The brain begins to require clearer meaning, stronger purpose, or more deliberate structure to generate the same level of drive. Chronic stress compounds this effect. Midlife often carries long-term responsibilities, including career pressure, financial obligations, caregiving roles, and accumulated expectations. Persistent stress elevates cortisol, which interferes with dopamine transmission and reduces reward sensitivity. Over time, the nervous system adapts to a baseline of low-level alertness. When stress becomes chronic, the brain prioritizes survival signals rather than reward signals. Sleep changes further affect this balance. Deep sleep is essential for neurotransmitter regulation. After 40, deep sleep duration often decreases, even if total hours remain similar. Reduced deep sleep weakens dopamine stability and emotional resilience. Blood sugar fluctuations also influence motivation. Rapid spikes and crashes in glucose levels create mental fatigue, irritability, and reduced focus. These metabolic swings make sustained effort feel more difficult. Muscle loss and decreased physical activity play a role as well. Movement stimulates dopamine and increases brain-derived neurotrophic factors that support cognitive vitality. Sedentary patterns reduce these signals, lowering baseline drive. Hormonal shifts further influence mood and initiative. Testosterone, estrogen, thyroid hormones, and growth hormone all interact with dopamine pathways. Even modest declines can subtly reduce internal momentum. Another overlooked factor is novelty exposure. In early adulthood, life naturally contains transitions, learning curves, and unpredictable growth. Novelty activates dopamine strongly. By midlife, routines stabilize. The brain receives fewer new challenges, reducing reward stimulation. Additionally, constant digital stimulation may desensitize dopamine receptors. Rapid scrolling, frequent notifications, and short-form content create high-intensity reward bursts. Over time, everyday tasks feel dull by comparison. The brain becomes conditioned to expect higher stimulation levels. When daily life does not match that intensity, motivation feels lower. Importantly, this shift is not necessarily depression, although symptoms may overlap. It is often a combination of neurochemical adaptation, stress accumulation, metabolic fluctuation, hormonal shifts, and reduced novelty. The critical insight is that motivation is biological. It is not simply a decision. It reflects the sensitivity of reward systems and the stability of metabolic signals. In the next section, We will explore how to restore motivation intentionally by targeting dopamine pathways, stress balance, sleep architecture, metabolic rhythm, and daily structure. Rebuilding motivation after 40 requires consistent biological reinforcement rather than waiting for inspiration. The first strategy is intentional novelty. The brain responds strongly to learning and challenge. Introducing new skills, changing exercise patterns, exploring unfamiliar environments, or setting short-term learning goals stimulates dopamine release. The novelty does not need to be dramatic. Small structured challenges create measurable reward signals. The second strategy is resistance training and regular physical activity. Exercise increases dopamine receptor sensitivity and improves mitochondrial efficiency. Strength training, in particular, supports hormone balance and cognitive drive. Even moderate sessions 2 to 3 times per week can gradually elevate baseline motivation. The third strategy is stabilizing blood sugar. Balanced meals combining protein, fiber, and healthy fats reduce glucose volatility. Stable glucose supports consistent mental energy and reduces crash-related apathy. The fourth strategy is improving sleep quality. Establishing consistent sleep timing, reducing evening light exposure, and minimizing late-night digital stimulation enhances deep sleep, which supports neurotransmitter regulation. The fifth strategy is reducing chronic stress. Slow breathing practices, time in nature, stretching routines, and digital boundaries lower cortisol and allow dopamine systems to recalibrate. The sixth strategy is structured goal segmentation. Large goals feel overwhelming when dopamine sensitivity declines. Breaking goals into small, measurable steps creates frequent micro-rewards that reinforce forward movement. The seventh strategy is limiting excessive high dopamine stimuli. Reducing constant social media exposure and rapid entertainment resets reward sensitivity. Over time, normal tasks regain their perceived value. The eighth strategy is strengthening social connection. Positive interaction stimulates reward pathways and increases oxytocin, supporting emotional drive. The ninth strategy is maintaining circadian rhythm consistency. Morning light exposure and regular wake time stabilize brain chemistry and improve mood regulation. Sustainable motivation after 40 is built through rhythm, not intensity. Consistent novelty, strength training, metabolic stability, sleep protection, stress regulation, goal structuring, digital moderation, and social engagement gradually rebuild drive. Motivation is not something that magically returns. It is something reconstructed through biological signals. When the brain receives steady reinforcement of progress and recovery, internal momentum slowly strengthens. The loss of drive in midlife is not permanent. It reflects adaptive changes that can be recalibrated with intentional lifestyle patterns.